stacked walls. Okay, let's pick up where we left off. Right there, 903. Save as. Again, 904 begin. And another save as. 904 complete. Good, so what are we going to be doing here? Well, next step is going to be add stacked walls to phase one. Okay. So we are going to be working in phase one. So let's go down to the phase one part of our project browser right there. And notice that we don't have a plan for that yet. So we're going to need to duplicate one from our existing. So we'll go with top of foundation wall and we'll duplicate that. Good. And then we will rename it. Top of foundation wall, phase one. And let's put the phase of that view at phase one. Okay, good. So now we can see the phase one stuff is dark, the existing is gray. We're going to talk about a couple ways to do stacked walls. So if I were to just go to the wall command, and I would just open this up, you notice that here it says basic wall, and then you've got curtain wall, and then if you notice right here, you've got something called stacked wall. Let's just draw one piece of that, and I'm using finish face exterior again, and I'll just draw something like that. Okay. Let's go into our phase one 3D view and see what this is. Okay, so you can see here, this is a wall which actually combines two wall types. So if I click on this one right here, then you can see it's called a stacked wall. We could edit the type, and there's not much in here. So it's not really like your conventional wall type. Let's duplicate it first. We'll call it stacked wall one. And under structure, if we just click on edit, you'll notice that you've got basically a 1 and a 2, and you can have more. And it says, okay, so the base, that's the base. What's the base going to be? Let's say EW1 existing. And what is the top going to be? Let's say EIFS on metal stud. And you can go through this and you can sort of adjust, like, how are they lining up with each other? So we can offset them. So if I just say 1 inch, okay, so then if I say -1/2 inch, so you can see how that is going to adjust it back and forth. Now, I'm showing you this because this is a type of wall that you can use. We find these, though, tend to be a little bit rigid because let's just say okay to this and okay to this. Yes, it draws it and it draws it fast and it's quite good to use at times. But what happens is you can't edit this line in between the stacked wall. So it just ends up being really frustrating because if you have to step it, if you have to put some extra piece in there, you're kind of stuck. So the other option there is to basically just draw two walls on top of each other. Okay, so it's not as fast as the stacked wall initially, but it does have its advantages. Okay, so if I go back to a floor plan and we go to, this would be top of foundation wall phase one. For the bottom wall, we're going to just go to wall. We're going to pick EW1 existing, and then we can edit that type, duplicate it. Maybe we'll just call it EW, same type, so we'll call it EW1, but we'll call it phase one. Okay, and that's the only change we make. We just basically duplicate it and rename it. Okay, so we can say start from the top of foundation wall. Let's make it unconnected. And what's the height going to be? Let's put it up at 4 feet from the top of foundation. Okay, finish face exterior is our location line. Offset, anything that we had brick, we were just offsetting it by 1/2 inch. So we can just go here and draw that to there. Good. Always a good idea just to flip around to 3D. I'm actually looking at this. It looks like there's something wrong with the existing walls, which we need to address as well. So let's just go back over here to 3D views, and we can just look at what we've done here. And it looks like everything is fine. Okay, now this wall right here, looks to be jutting out a little bit. So if we just use the Align tool, we could adjust that. So we'll go to Modify, Align, and we'll pick this as our source. And then we'll just pick that to line up. All right, there we go. Now let's do the top piece of this. So we'll go back to our top of foundation wall phase 1 view again, and let's set our view to medium. Okay, so we've drawn our exterior walls at 4 feet high, and now we're going to draw walls yet above that. So it's the second piece of it. So we'll go to Home, Wall, and we're going to start from this EW1 phase 1, and we'll just edit the type. We'll click on Duplicate, and we'll call this one EW2 phase 1. In EW2, we're going to go into the structure and just edit this a little bit. We're going to take out the thermal air layer. We are then also going to change this finish. So we're going to make it just 3/8. And we are going to click on this little button here. We're going to change the material. You could go for a siding. Okay, and then we'll say okay to that. And okay to that. And okay to that. We're going to keep the 2 location lines the same. We're going to do finish face exterior, and just going to draw this right in line with it. We're going to change it in a minute, don't worry. And just before I pick that point, let's offset the base. So we're going to offset the base up by 4 feet. Then we're going to have it go to roof plate 1. Okay, finish face exterior, got the height right. We're going to leave the offset, and we'll just draw finish face exterior out to here. Good, so there's that. Now it's telling us that they're not visible in this particular view. We'll have to address that later. So let's look at this in 3D. So there we go. So we've got show all, and we can see there's the top piece and the bottom piece. But maybe we want to line them up a little different, like maybe by the interior. It looks like it. We don't want that ledge on the inside. So what we'll do is right here in this view, because we can see it now, we're going to go to Modify, and we're going to go to Align. And we're just going to pick these faces and line them up. You always want to resist the urge to hit that lock too. Every time you see that lock, generally in a project, you're just going to not have that lock ticked. Okay, so we've done our stacked wall. The advantage to this is you can adjust them and have a wall go up and step and do other things, which often they do. So those are the 2 options. So let's save what we've done, close it in Windows, and here we go.